Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about how to make a Cyberse deck with the current support that's out. So, to start off, I'm actually going to be starting on the second row rather than the first row, because the first row isn't going to make sense until I explain the rest of the deck. So, to start off, Rom Claudia, when it's normal summoned, you take a Cyberse in your grave and you add it to your hand. The second effect, you're really not going to activate that much because it only activates when it's destroyed. There's nothing in this deck that's going to destroy it, so you're kind of forced to throw it away or hope your opponent attacks into it, which really isn't going to happen. So it's really the first effect that makes this card good. The next one, Balancer Lord. It's another card where the first effect is good and the second effect really isn't. So you can pay 1,000 life points, and then you get an additional normal summon of a Cyberse monster during your main phase. The second effect only activates when it's banished, so I guess that's not really that good. Next up is Draconet. When this card is normal summoned, you special summon a level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck. So this is where these top 4 cards come in. Digitron and Bitron. They're level 2 normal monsters. And they're also Cyberse. And then next up is Cyberse Gadget. So this one is going to summon a level 2 or lower normal monster from your graveyard. And also, if this card's sent to the grave, you get a gadget token. So aside from being able to use this for a link summon, you're also going to get a token when this card leaves the field. Next up is Backup Secretary. If you control a Cyberse monster, you can special summon this card. Really simple effect, really helpful effect, does a lot for you. Playing this in combination with Cyberse Gadget means you can get a Link 2 of, say, Honeybot, Proxy Dragon if you want. You can even go for Link Disciple with Cyberse Gadget if you want. There's a lot of usage with these two cards. Next up is Stack Reviver. This is one of the most important cards in the deck. When this card is used as link material for a link summon, you target one level 4 or lower Cyberse monster that you use in that same link summon and you special summon in defense. You can only use it once per turn, but I'm still playing it at 3 because cards like Balancer Lord and Backup Secretary can still get a lot of use out of it. Even Gadget can still summon it out of your grave later on. Next up is Scaper. When I read this card, my initial thoughts were something like Level Eater and Glow Up Bulb, because this card is so good. So I'm going to read the first effect to you guys and just kind of take it in for a moment. If this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon it. Yes, you heard that right. Any way that ends up in the grave, you special summon it. And then, if it's banished, you special summon it. So, the reason I said it's a lot like Glow Up Bulb, for example, is you can only use it once per duel. You can also only use one effect of Scraper per turn. So, it's just such a good card, because just like Glow Up Bulb, it only can be used once per duel, but it's still such a good card because of how it just comes back on the field for free. Next is 1-for-1 to get out Scaper really quickly. Then Brilliant Fusion for Seraphonite, and there's a lot of light monsters. There's only the top row of Earth monsters and 5 dark monsters in the deck. And also Scaper's Earth. Recoded Alive is another really good card. So, you target a Link 3 Cyberse monster that you either control or is in your grave, and then you banish it and special summon one Code Talker monster from your extra deck. So right now, there's Encode Talker and Decode Talker. So, you can use this card however you want. I think it's a really good card. And with the future, it's only going to get better, since the whole Code Talker archetype is used by a character. That means there's going to be future Code Talkers. And then, if you don't control a monster in your extra deck zone, you can banish this card from your grave, then target one of your banished Code Talker monsters, special summon it. So the card that you banished from this effect, you can get back later in the future. So it's just such a good card with 2 really good effects. And 3 Solemn Strike. So let's get into this top row. So I have 3 Gemnite Garnet, not only because of Brilliant Fusion, but also because of Gigantes. So I don't think most of you probably see this and that I haven't gone to it yet and not really sure what it was. This is a pretty old card. So you banish 1 Earth monster from your grave and you can special summon this card. It's a level 4, and if it's destroyed for any reason, you destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So with this deck, you're only playing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're only playing 10 back row. So, if your opponent's playing a back row heavy deck, this is close to just being a board wipe against them. Really good effect, and also it banishes Dotscaper for Dotscaper's second effect. Additionally, it can use Gemnite Garnet after it's been sent to the grave, and it can use these 4, Digitron and Bitron. Now let's get down to the extra deck. So first off, there's the 2 Gemnite Seraphonites, 2 Firewall Dragon. I have gone over this effect previously in my Bullet Deck Profile. You guys are more than welcome to check that out. Really good deck. Next up is Decode Talker. So this is a card I didn't have in the Bullet deck. What this does is it gains 500 for each monster it points to. If your opponent activates a card that targets a card you control, this is a quick effect, meaning you can use it during either player's turn. You contribute 1 monster this card points to, and then negate the activation and destroy that card. So there's some discussion as to if the top arrow pointing to an opponent's monster can be tributed. I think it can, and that's what makes Decode Talker such a fantastic card, on top of just being able to gain 1500 attack. Next one is Encode Talker. This one's going to use 2 Cyberse monsters, and it's a Link 3 as well as Decode Talker. So once per turn, you can, before damage calculation, if a monster you control this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack, this card's effect stops that monster from being destroyed by that battle, and also you're not going to take any damage. After that, this card or 1 monster this card points to gains attack equal to the current attack of the opponent's monster. So this is a pretty good option for getting around bigger monsters, and it has 2300 attack. So it's a pretty solid card. Next is Honeybot. So it's a Link 2 and uses 2 Cyberse monsters. It points left and right. Neither player can target monsters this card points to, and those monsters can't be destroyed by battle. Pretty simple effect, but also if you have another Link monster that this is pointing to, say Firewall Dragon or one of the Code Talkers, then this card can become very dangerous. Next is Proxy Dragon. If a card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy 1 monster this card points to instead. So I guess that's a way that you can get off Rom Claudia's effect, or even Gigantes' effect. Next is Link Spider. So since there's already 7 normal monsters in the deck, not to mention the tokens that Cyberse Gadget will make, this is a really good card, and it starts off a lot of combos. So you make this, and then you make your use the effect, and you get your other normal monster, and you can link again since it's Cyberse. So you can make, for example, Honeybot or Proxy Dragon. Next is Link Disciple, 1 level 4 lower Cyberse monster. You contribute 1 monster's card points to, and draw a card. Pretty simple effect. Deck thins. It's only 500 attack though, so it's probably not going to be around on your next turn unless you use it for a Link summon, of course. So that's my list. I think Gigantes has a really bright future for it. Now that there's cards like Dot Scraper, it's going to be really good. As well as making these low-level Earth monsters just being really useful in a deck like this. So Gigantes just has so much application out of nowhere thanks to links. So that's my deck profile. So if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Make sure to like and subscribe. My goal is to get about 25 likes on this video. And check out the GoFundMe link in the description. See you guys next time.